Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Walsh from the Livingston Road Primary Federation in Poole. Now you are joining me for the fifth and final session of art today. Over the past 5 sessions we've done a lot of exploring skills around line and colour in our artwork, and today is the day that we apply all those skills to create a picture that is inspired by an artist. Now, it's been amazing being with you for these past 5 sessions, and I hope that you've been practicing some of your skills with colour and line when you've been drawing outside of being with me online. And give yourself time today. So please pause the video and spend time on your pictures to make them as amazing as you are. Okay, now there's no need to worry because today is about abstract art, and if you remember from one of our last sessions, it doesn't have to look exactly like what you are representing. It can just imply or be an idea, really, to symbolize something. So are you ready? Let's see what we're going to need today. And share. Here we go. So bringing together all our knowledge today about colour and line. And for this session, you're going to need paper, as always, some scrap paper, because we're going to be looking at some artists and I want you to note down any ideas that you like from the pictures that we see. Also a pencil, colouring pencils, maybe a pencil sharpener as always. Now today you might need a ruler because we're going to be drawing some straight lines, and just some objects that have some shape to them that you might want to draw around. So I've picked some circles. So I've got an egg cup, and then I've got a larger circle with just a Tupperware pot. But make sure you ask a grown-up first before you get anything so that you know that you're allowed it. So pause the video and go and get those things first. Right, are you back? Now you don't need to go anywhere to bring the last thing that you need. So the last thing you need is, of course, your creativity. That's what I need. So your ideas, your imagination. And do we worry about mistakes? No, we don't. So persevere, be resilient, and just enjoy, okay? And express yourself. So for our warm-up game today, we're going to do another racing game, okay? Now, if you can't race anywhere, then you could just grab or get someone else to race for you. But remember the rules of wherever you are. So don't go touching something that you shouldn't, and don't go running anywhere that you shouldn't. And please be careful. So today, I'm going to ask you to race to a colour, or I'm going to ask you to race to a line, okay? So I wonder, I might use my whiteboard pen in case we've forgotten some of our lines and we need a bit of reminding. So can you race to a blue? Off you go, find something blue, touch something blue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you back? Did you get something blue? Could you describe that blue to me? Dark blue. Oh, did someone say marine blue? That's a good way of describing it. Or navy blue. A dark blue, yes. Someone went to a powder blue. Also very light blue. Well done. Right, your next thing. Can you race to a curved line? So find something that is curved. Off you go. So perhaps maybe a vase or a lampshade. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you find something curved? Well done. But don't worry if you didn't. Right, let's see. Can you race to a brown? Ready? Off you go. Perhaps it's your favourite teddy bear. Or maybe the wooden leg of something. I've got wood around my whiteboard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you back? Excellent, well done. Right then, and the last one now is going to be a line. This one might be hard, you might not find it, okay? But if you don't find it, just keep looking when you're out and about and see if you find one. So can you find a spiral line? It's hard, I know. So remember a spiral looked like this. Can you see? Yes. Don't know whether you've got any snails in your house. Maybe a book with a snail in it. 5, 4. Or you could quickly draw one and then point to it. 3, 2, 1. Did you find one? If you did, well done, because that's a tricky line to find. But if you didn't, don't worry. Right then, just a bit of fun. So you could play that game with someone in your family, couldn't you? Let's get on with our session. Are you nicely warmed up thinking about lines and colours in your brains? Good. So today, let me just move my face. Oh, I don't know why I did that. There we go, move my face down here. Today we're going to use the skills that we've learned about line and colour to create a piece of art. So that's what I said at the beginning. So this is kind of the final product, okay? A chance for us to show off. So we're going to base our work on an artist called Kandinsky. And we're going to have a look at some of his pieces. Now, I really like Kandinsky because he didn't believe that his work had to look like the real thing. And therefore, when you look at it, it meant one thing to him, but it might mean something else to some other person that looks at the picture. So I find abstract art really interesting, and I really like to do it because I can just express myself without worrying too much about it being exactly like what I'm seeing. So we're going to look at the Kandinsky pictures, and we're going to think about how has he used line and colour. And what I want you to do is, on a scrap piece of paper, I want you to draw any of the ideas that you see that you would like to use in your picture. Or maybe if it springs off an idea, then you can quickly jot down your idea so that you don't forget it when you're creating your piece. Okay, so you can magpie some of these ideas. Right, let's look at our first picture. I might have to move myself over again. Whee! There we go. So, what sort of things do you notice about this picture? Can you see any lines? What lines has Kandinsky used here? Yes, someone spotted the one that I like. Can you see this very wiggly line running down the picture? Is it the same all the way down? No, you're right. It's thicker at the top, isn't it? Thicker at the top, and then as it goes down, it gets thinner at the bottom. What other lines has Kandinsky used? Yes, you're right. Some straight lines. Are all of his straight lines the same? No, look, we've got some thick ones here. But over here, we've got some very thin ones together. This one almost looks a bit like the hatching that we did in one of our sessions. What other lines can you see? Did someone say rainbow lines? Do you mean these lines up here? Yeah, they do look a bit like a rainbow, don't they? Those curved arched lines there. Excellent. And you'll also notice, look, he's made some shapes here with some wiggly lines. We've got straight lines here that have created lots and lots of shapes. Well done. So how has Kandinsky used colour here? Some of you have noticed the shading. Yes, look, if you look around, he has got some darker tones and values and shades here. And he's also got some very bold, where he's used the black, a very solid colour. So he's used both, a bit like Mondrian, where he had the blocks of colour. Kandinsky has used that here, up in the circle, a block of colour. But here you'll notice the yellow changes and goes from light to dark. And also here in this rectangle and around the edge. So he's kind of given almost like a bit of a halo or an aura around some of his shapes. I might write that word halo down. So it's kind of got a bit of a halo around some of his shapes, hasn't he? And I really do like that wiggly line. So I'm going to put that down on my ideas sheet. Can you see there? I'm just jotting down all the things that I like. I also like this shape here. I don't quite know why, but I really, really like it and I might want to try and use it. So I'm just going to quickly note that down on my board. Can you see? I'm just jotting down rough ideas. Okay. So let's move on to our next painting to see how he's used colour and line there. Ooh. Now this one is very, very busy, isn't it? Is there anything here that reminds you of something? Yes, a game board over here. These do look a bit like boards that you would play chess or drafts on, don't they? And over here, yes, a record. I don't know whether any of your grown-ups have got records, or maybe a licorice all sort, a sweet. There's a sweet that looks a little bit like that. So how has Kandinsky used colour here? Yes, he's got lots of shapes that are coloured in with blocks of colour, but also look, oh dear, I've flicked forwards, hang on. Also here we've got that halo again where he's used shading around his shapes and around this red circle here. So he is using again his blocks of colour and also shade and tone in his colour as well. What do you notice about the lines here? Yes. Did you spot them? Yes, we've got some scalloped lines here. Do you remember? We looked at scalloped lines, these bumpy lines that go like this. Can you see? Yeah, where they go bump, 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 bump. He's used some of them. And a lot of shapes in this one. Yes, definitely. Lots and lots of shapes. Here we've got our wavy line again. Did you spot the curved line here? He likes to put some of his lines together, doesn't he? In the same direction, I've noticed. Down here we've got parallel lines. You'll learn about that when you are in your maths lesson, parallel lines, where they run and they will never, ever, ever meet. Distance between them will be the same. Right, let's look at our next one. Now this one's a bit different because he's used a different medium here. It looks like he's used paint here. And what do you notice about this one? This one looks a little bit different. Yes, this one doesn't have as straight lines, does it? These, even though they look straight, they're not as straight as the other lines that we've seen in his paintings. You're right. Some zigzag lines. Yes, up here. I can see some zigzag lines as well. What do they remind you of up there? Yes, me too. They reminded me of birds flying in the sky. I might put some of those on my ideas board actually, because I do quite like those. What else do you notice? Yes, a rainbow down here. We did a rainbow in our last session, didn't we? So here we've got a rainbow of colour. Maybe you would like to add that, something like that in your picture today. What kind of line has he used for a rainbow? Yes, an arching line going over. And look, we've got another arching line here. Can you see? But this one's not been, there's not been any colour used in there. So we've got lots of straight lines, shaped lines, so geometric shapes that he's used, and also lots of wavy curly lines and arched lines. And he likes to put his lines close together. So maybe I will add some of that to my painting. So have you got some ideas jotted down of the things that you would like to use today? Brilliant. That's great. Now, let's have a go. So I'm going to come out of share screen and so that you can see. Now today, I'm going to do quite a bit of work in pen in the hopes that you'll be able to see it on the camera. Okay. Now, Kandinsky's art always represents something. There's always something that he is thinking about when he does it. So what I would like you to think about when you do your piece of art today is I would like you to think about your family or a special group that you belong to, okay? Something that makes you feel part of a community, okay? Somewhere where you belong. And I want you to represent that with line and colour in a Kandinsky style painting. So for me, I'm going to do my family because they make me feel like I belong. And they are a huge part of my community. Now, I am going to, there are 4 people in my family, me, my husband, my daughter and my son. So I think I'm going to represent them maybe with some circles. So I'm going to draw around my circle. Oh, it's quite hard when it's pressed up against here. I need to be a bit careful. I'm just going to join that bit up, and let's put another one around there. So these, they don't look like my son and my daughter, but they represent my son and my daughter, okay? And then I'm going to put 2 big circles here. To represent me and my husband. Okay, so that's our family. Now, I want to put some line in my drawing, and we're all kind of linked together, aren't we? We all help each other. Do you help each other in your family? Good. So to show that we're all linked, but we are all different as well, I think I might link us together like balloons, but with different lines to just represent the fact that we're all different. So my daughter, she loves dancing, so I'm going to give her the loopy line because she's very creative. I'm going to do that loopy line that we had there. And my husband, he likes to run. So I think I might have to give him a zigzag line where he's running. And we're all our lines are going to cross and join to show that we work together. Now my son, he is very lively and funny. He always makes me laugh. So I might give him like a little bumpy, happy line. So let's bump, 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 bump. Joining up here. And me, what could I say about me? I think that I just love to be a part of everything in the family. I'm quite nosy, really. So I might just blow through everybody's life, just having a little nose here and there. And I like to be part of everything. So I'm going to do a wavy line going through everybody else's lines there. Oh, that's a bit like that Kandinsky one that I saw. Now, it looks quite busy, but it symbolises us being joined together, but being different. Now, these 2, they do make me laugh. They're a bit like little rays of sunshine. So now I think I'm going to do some straight lines coming out of them, a bit like the sun. Now, Kandinsky liked to use his lines together, like group them close together. So here they are, like rays of sunshine coming out of those. Now, in my life also, and in my community, so I've got my family, but I've also got my job as a teacher, and that's a big part of my community. All the teachers at Livingston Road Primary Federation and all the children, so a big hello to any of them that are watching. Now, our symbol is a tree, so we've got 2 trees because we have an infant school and a junior school. So I'm going to do kind of a tree-shaped line, and then I might do 2 lines like that to represent the trunk of the tree. Now I know it doesn't look like a tree, but in abstract art it doesn't need to look exactly like a tree. So that's going to represent my school community that I belong to there. So I've got my family community, my school community, and I also love going out with my friends. I've got some lovely, lovely friends. So I wonder, there was these, weren't they? These birds, these, you can't see them there. Do you remember these kind of marks that look like birds in the Kandinsky one. Now, birds like to flock together, don't they, and fly around together. So I'm going to put some of those up there to represent my community of friends that I have. Okay, now I haven't got any colour in it at the moment, so I've done my line, and now I'm going to do my colour. Now, I think I might do some solid colour in some of my shapes. Now, I don't want you to have to watch me all the time, so that one I'm going to leave like that, and I'll fill it in a minute. I'll pause the video and I'll do mine and you can do yours. So I'm going to do that one solid, but these ones I think I'm going to shade. Okay, so I'm going to use my shading for this. So I'm going to go with let's go with a purple for me. So I might use my cross hatching, or the hatching that I did in one of our sessions. So do you remember how we made a darker tone using our cross hatching there? And I'm going to carry on with that when I pause the video. So I'm going to use cross hatching on that one, and maybe I'll use a different one on this one here. And I'm going to do one of the halos, an aura, like Kandinsky did. So for this one, I'm going to use a green. Okay, and I'm going to start very, very dark. And I'm going to do it by my tree to represent my school community. So that's why I'm using green. So I'm going to start dark, really close to the tree. And then I'm going to get lighter. How do I get lighter again? That's it. I just take the pressure off a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do really dark, close there, and as I want my colour to get lighter, I'm just going to take that pressure and press really, really lightly. And as you can see, that's created that little kind of aura or halo effect, and I could go even further, get lighter still. Can you see there? Okay, so I'm going to carry on doing mine, and I want you to pause the video, create some lines and shape that represent something to you, and then using your skills of colour, of shading and tone and value, shade in bits of your picture so that it looks a little bit like a Kandinsky painting. If you're struggling for ideas, remember you can always rewind the video and look back again at those Kandinsky pictures. Okay, so pause the video now. I'll pause mine and we'll see what they look like at the end. Good luck. Right then, guys, how did that go with your Kandinsky inspired pictures? They look amazing from here. I love the way you've used your colour and your shading. And the shapes and lines look amazing. Well done. So can you point to a section of your picture and explain to me what it represents? Some of you have represented your family. And some of you may have represented a club or a school that you belong to. Can you point to an area on your picture where you have used a wavy line? If you haven't, don't worry. Can you point to an area of your picture where you've used a spiral line? Can you point to an area of your picture where you have used a straight line? I wonder whether it is going vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. I've got some diagonal lines here and here. Have you used any of our hatching skills in your painting or your picture? I mean, You could use paints if you wanted to, if you've got them, but in your picture. Well done. So you can see here from mine, I've used my shading here inside my line. So I've gone darker and then I've got lighter as I've gone away. I've also done that, you might not be able to see, I've done it in yellow to represent that these, because these were representing my children, that they're like little rays of sunshine most of the time, where they give out lots of warmth and energy and light. So I've gone dark by the lines and then I've made it lighter as it moves away. The same with my tree to represent my school community, and here with my friends. I've shaded very, very bold in the middle and got lighter as I've moved away. And on myself and my partner here, I have done the hatching skills and got lighter as the light was shining on my sphere. And these lines represent how we're all joined together, but how we're all different as well. So why don't you spend some time explaining your picture to one of the grown-ups in your life, telling them what it represents and explaining about the skills that you've used to draw it. It's been really lovely teaching you art, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.